Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. Over 2,000 new COVID-19 infections have been reported today, bringing the total cases to over 74,000. Data from the Health Department show active cases now at 48,000. 90% of this new tally today are mild cases. New casualties from the pandemic has climbed to 28, bringing the total death count to over 1,800. There are 760 new recoveries today, or this Thursday, pushing the total up to more than 24,000. And the president's remark that masks can be reused so long as they are washed with gasoline cooked up a storm online. But presidential spokesman Harry Roque says it is all a joke. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire reminded the public that reusable masks should be washed after every use, while disposable ones should be thrown immediately. Roque stressed, however, that the president is serious about providing free face masks for everyone.
Kayo naman, 4 na taon sa presidente, parang hindi nyo pa kilala sa presidente. Joke only. Bakit naman tayo maghuhugas ng gasolina, no?
But if there's anything that Roque admitted to, it's that the DOH should have been clearer about home quarantine procedures from the get-go. He says government is now pushing efforts to transfer asymptomatic and mild patients to designated isolation centers.
Kaya tumaas ang numero natin. Pero we're rectifying it now. We have fully intensified our testing.
Stranded passengers over at the Manila North Port Harbor can't help but be confused and frustrated as they were told that sea travel to their provinces have been temporarily suspended, only to find out otherwise from their relatives. Justine Punsalang with the report.
It's been an emotional 3 days for Ana Mayagma. She had high hopes that she would finally be able to go back home to Bacolod when she went to the Manila North Harbor on July 21st. But her dreams were shattered. She was told that sea travel to Bacolod and Iloilo were temporarily suspended. Since then, Ana has been sleeping at a tent just outside the port.
Ang hirap, ang init, yung ulan, mababasa yung gamit namin. So nung first time namin dito, nakatayo lang kami buong magdamag kasi basang-basa yung semento.
John Mark had been staying here for far longer, 5 days to be exact. Leaving his work in Tuguegarao City, he tried his luck here to board a ship bound for Cagayan de Oro.
Dito sa Manila, ma'am, nagtanong-tanong ako saan ang sasakyan pupunta sa Mindanao, ma'am. Tinuro yung tricycle, ma'am, nagpunta kami dito, ma'am.
Some of the stranded individuals here are confused as to why they are barred from returning to their provinces. While port authorities told them that the harbor in Bacolod remains closed, their relatives in the province told them otherwise, and that there had been no closure announcement.
Kaya sabi nila kunugin sira ang Bacolod, hindi ko na pwede makapasok ang dito galing sa Manila.
Ano po?
Hindi ko na pwede makapasok kami sa Bacolod.
Bakit daw, ma'am? Anong reason, ma'am?
Iwan ko lang, sabi isang mayor ko na dito sa Bacolod. Tapos mali mangali, okay laman gali.
According to Iloilo Mayor Jerry Trenas, they did not stop accepting stranded locals, some of whom are temporarily housed in schools while awaiting the results of their swab tests. Assistant Secretary Joseph Encabo said in a Laging Handa briefing that the second batch of the Hatid Tulong program will be on July 25 to 26. They target to bring home around 6,000 LSIs. For News 5, Justine Punsalang. We are One News.
Home some 126,000 stranded individuals. Lead convener Joseph Encabo said around 9,000 more bound for the Visayas and Mindanao are also scheduled to go back to their provinces on July 25 and 26, while 8,000 to 10,000 are still in need of assistance.
Ang mga LSIs po ay dadaan sa isang medical protocol na kung saan pangangasiwaan ng Department of Health at sila po ay mag-undergo ng rapid test. Yun po ang mga hiling ng ating mga LGUs.
And the IATF has once again suspended non-essential travel abroad for Filipinos just a week after lifting it. Malacanang says this is because only one health and travel insurance firm agreed to give insurance for non-essential outbound travel. However, those who have booked their flights until July 20 will still be allowed to leave the country. And the Davao City government has modified its no negative RT-PCR no-fly policy for incoming air passengers. Under the new guidelines, a passenger who failed to present such test results must undergo a test and wait in the airport instead. They will be tested for COVID-19 and put in a holding room while waiting for the results, which usually takes up to 24 hours. Meanwhile, Davao International Airport is also gearing up for the possible resumption of international commercial flights soon.
Isa sa mga agenda is to discuss the resumption of international commercial air traffic. But nakita naman nila yung mga measures natin. I think they're satisfied with it. But there are some, siguro may mga improvements na sila na ibibigay sa city. I think the resumption might take place as soon as yung mga measures na pag-usapan kahapon will be in order na lahat.
We're going to pause for a quick break, but keep it here on One News. I'm Shania, and this is still One News Now. Protesting also adapts to the new normal as progressive groups prepare to mount a different type of demonstration during the President's Sauna on Monday. To give us the details, we have Ria Fernandez joining us live from Quezon City. Ria, what should we expect during the rallies on Monday, and how are authorities preparing for these as well?
Sean, around 8 piston jeepney drivers trooped to the Social Welfare Department office in Quezon City this morning to appeal for their financial aid this pandemic.
4 days before the President's fifth State of the Nation address, the Philippine National Police conducted a simulation exercise should a bombing incident occur under the new normal.
Naka-PPE sila lahat na nagresponde. Yun yung kaibahan sa ngayon. At kung napansin din natin, right after ng pag-responde po nila, before sila bumalik sa kanilang mga opisina, ay nagde-decontaminate muna tayo.
But authorities are expecting scenarios to be different come Monday. The Quezon City local government has set a cap on the number of SONA protesters, even limiting rally time to 2 hours from 10 a.m. to 12 noon in front of the Human Rights Office in Commonwealth.
We have the right to, of course, remind them or even disperse them peacefully, of course, kung nakikita na natin na nagiging public health hazard na po sila.
This is not an issue for the protesters. Militant groups will do away with the traditional burning of effigies. They will also take the battle online.
Monday will be a test of the creativity of the various sectors and individuals in expressing protest even during these times of the pandemic. Siyempre, wala na yung effigy. Pero I think pinag-iisipan ng isang virtual na effigy. So, abangan.
They also have the Catholic Church's backing with a mass supposed to be led by Bishop Roderick Pabilio starting 12:30 in the afternoon. But with Pabilio testing positive for COVID-19, he said a priest from the Archdiocese of Manila will replace him for the Manila Cathedral Mass.
4 na buwan na po kaming gutom.
But even before the SONA, some protesters already held pickets, this time outside the Social Welfare Department's office. Piston members cried out they have yet to receive the government's aid under the Social Amelioration Program, forcing them to beg as not all traditional jeepneys are allowed to operate yet. In the middle of the picket, DSWD spokesperson Irene Dumlao went out to invite them for a dialogue. Two members, including Deputy Secretary General Ruben Bailon, who was part of the Piston 6 arrested in Caloocan in June, were allowed to enter.
Maayos naman yung pagtanggap dahil sa dama naman nila yung talagang sitwasyon ng mga driver.
In a Viber message, Dumlao said they have asked Bailon to submit a list of their members in Metro Manila. Through this, they can verify who has to receive the subsidy and the reason for the delayed payout.
But Sean, it is not just the protesters, but even PNP personnel are making changes on how they're going to respond in the event that there will be extreme scenarios come Monday. Sean?
All right, thank you very much for that update. Ria Fernandez joining us live from Quezon City today. And one cop for each barangay is the new mandate from the Joint Task Force COVID Shield. The fresh order is meant to ensure that quarantine rules are strictly enforced. In a statement, Commander Guillermo Eleazar said that each policeman will be acting as a team leader of barangay security officers. This is in line with President Duterte's order for mandatory wearing of face masks and observance of physical distancing. The COVID-19 pandemic wasn't able to stop new lawyers from taking their oaths this year. And this new attorney also did not let travel restrictions prevent him from enjoying the moment with his loved ones. Newly sworn counsel Ivan Torres took a standee of his parents to his roll signing at the Supreme Court earlier today. Parents and family members have been prohibited from joining new lawyers this year in the signing of the roll of attorneys due to risks of COVID-19. To celebrate the event, it seems Attorney Ivan got a bit creative.
Hindi kasi wala yung parents, bawal kasi yung guests, so parang para makasama ko sila in this momentous event, nagpagawa na lang ako ng standee.
And 4 more petitions against the anti-terror law were filed before the Supreme Court today. News 5's Marian Enriquez joins us live for the details. Marian, yesterday we had 4 more Supreme Court justices filing their petition. Who trooped to the SC today? I know there is quite a number.
Yes, Sean, earlier today we saw lawmakers, journalists, artists, filmmakers, youth organizations, and the Muslim lawyers trooped to the Supreme Court to challenge the constitutionality of the recently passed anti-terrorism law. 4 new petitions were filed today, bringing the number to 15.
Around 10 in the morning, Quezon City Representative Kit Belmonte, former Congressman Erin Tanyada, and Attorney Shal Jokno physically filed their petition against the anti-terror law. They want the High Tribunal to stop its implementation and to have it declared unconstitutional.
Ang petition namin ay nakasentro sa pagpoprotekta sa ating karapatang magsalita ng malaya, freedom of speech.
Their co-petitioners are opposition Senators Francis Pangilinan and Leila De Lima, as well as 2 framers of the 1987 Constitution, Dr. Florangel Rosario Braid and Professor Edmundo Garcia.
We need to catalyze 3 responses from our people. 1, speak out. 2, stand together. And 3, sustain courage.
Meanwhile, Pangilinan said the law may be abused, especially that the Liberal Party has been falsely accused of being involved in ouster plots and sedition.
We feel and we believe that this is the right course of action, to question the legality of this law and to prevent the abuse that we fear will happen.
Joining the 12th group of petitioners are journalists, Rappler CEO Maria Ressa and Inquirer columnist John Neri, as well as former Human Rights Commissioner Eta Rosales. The National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, joined by artists, writers, and filmmakers, also filed their own petition.
Antiterrorism Act of 2020 ay lumalabag sa konstitusyon dahil masyado siyang overbroad at saka vague, lalo na yung kanyang definition ng terrorism.
Youth organizations and student councils from 4 universities, the University of the Philippines Diliman, University of Santo Tomas, De La Salle University, and Ateneo de Manila University were among those who filed the 14th petition.
Mga kabataan ang nangunguna sa mga protesta, mga kabataan ang unang nakakapansin sa mga pagkukulang o sa mga problema sa ating mga pulisiya, sa pulisiya ng ating gobyerno, maaring matamaan ng implementasyon ng anti-terrorism law itong mga karapatan namin na ipahayag ang aming mga saloobin.
The last to file this afternoon was a group of Muslim lawyers from Mindanao. Though they support the government in framing a law against terrorism, they say the anti-terror law is prone to misinterpretation and abuse.
Sean, with over a dozen of petitions filed against the anti-terrorism law, petitioners said this proves the range of terror raised by the controversial statute. Sean?
Thank you very much for that update on the anti-terror law protests. Marian Enriquez joining us from Manila. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.